when women were really starting to own their inner badasses, you have the Oprahs and then Barbara Streisand. And I remember people commenting about Barbara Streisand when she was becoming a director. And they would call her a controlling bitch. And they also said that a lot of people who worked with Oprah said the same thing. And why do you think sometimes that when we start owning our inner badass, because I think this is one of the reasons we don't, is why do you think that there's so much judgment on it when a woman owns that in herself?
That's a great question, and I think a very timely one, too, just given everything that's happening in the world right now, especially in the States, in terms of just women's empowerment and equality and everything. I think it's simply, on the outside, it's mostly a product of living in a world that's been predominantly masculine for so long, for however many hundreds of years, and, call it a patriarchal society or call it whatever you want, but it's been a mostly masculine or a society driven by men. And so all of us are just conditioned and we're just used to it. And that doesn't mean we approve or disapprove or anything. It's just what we're used to. And so anytime people start doing something that's different, people get confused because it's not familiar anymore. And the unfamiliar is scary. And I think a lot of times it feels when something is unfamiliar and scary, we immediately jump to judgment and we think, oh, this is different, therefore must be bad or wrong. We're not used to women being strong, therefore that must mean she's bitchy or she's controlling or she's this or she's that. Like externally, that's kind of what I think is just happening in the space, or has been now for a while, as things start to even out a little bit. Of course, we have a lot of work to do. Internally, I think what can be really interesting to speak to too is the balance of masculine and feminine energy, which or call it divine feminine, divine masculine energy, which, for anybody who's unfamiliar with those terms, we're not speaking about anything gender-based. We're speaking about two different energies that we all have, both of which are beautiful and important and amazing, and which kind of have different benefits. And to really move forward as a society or as an individual, it's important to have both and to find a balance. I think that works, for each of us. But we've just been living in this world that's like so heavily masculine energy driven. And right now we just need to, like, I went to this women's empowerment conference one time, and there was a woman who went up on stage and she said, look, the masculine and feminine energies are like two wings of an eagle. And she held out both of her arms, if you could picture that. And she's like, it's not that we're saying that divine feminine energy is better or that women is better. We're not saying that at all. We've just been flying around with like flapping one wing for a long time, and we're simply trying to raise the other wing so that we can fly, smoothly and glide smoothly and move forward as a society, as a collective. And so I think a lot of times, like, if we can just start to recognize that we all have both of these energies, and for a lot of women, stepping into their strength, stepping into their badassery, stepping into leadership, stepping into being more visible, sometimes that, requires stepping into more of their masculine. And for a lot of men, sometimes stepping into some of their more feminine qualities can be hugely beneficial. And so it becomes this beautiful dance between the two energies. And I think we can all work on finding, like, what is the balance within ourselves in different areas of our life, and then also as a society, what can we do to balance that? Because we so desperately, like right now, we really need the feminine energy of collaboration and creativity and intuition and, working together to lift each other up rather than things being so competitive and like, dog eat dog kind of world.